YouTube, what's going on? Just like last week, we're bringing you another track preview. This one's for Arlington though, so this is a new one coming up this week. The track is pretty unique, I would say. Definitely different. We got the over under. We got a few rhythm sections. We got, I believe, 2 whoop sections, I believe. So definitely going to be intriguing of how well it's going to play out. I think there's a couple different options for different rhythm sections as well as passing points, so I want to try to dive into that, as well as just going over my personal belief of what the tracks are going to play out to be. So I think it's going to be intriguing. I think the track is kind of cool per se. There's a little off-camber double right there, so I think that's going to play a factor. I don't know if that's going to be bigger or not in real life, but anyways, so there's 2 whoop sections, one in the back, and then this is the second one. I think this is going to be the longer one for sure, and then that's right before the finish line. So and then you go right around the track, and then it's back to the start. I think this is going to play a factor. I think this whole track is going to have some good passing points, to be honest. Even this on-off section. Before we go passing points, let's look at the rhythm section. So that on-off right there, I think you can actually, I think the big bikes, maybe 250s too, because this Mxbikes is just a little bit different, but I think there's an option to go on-off here, right? I think that's an option, but I also think an option is to jump over the tabletop. The other night we were trying to do it, and I couldn't really get it clean, so I kind of gave up on it. But I think in real life there's an option to go over the tabletop and then triple out. I don't necessarily think that might be faster, but I think it is an option to play. So like if you double out and then you could triple out right there. I think that's it. I think that's going to be an option, but I don't know how well the track is going to be groomed for that or anything like that. I don't know how well the outside is going to be, or anything like that. So you could see a couple guys doing that. Now, is it going to be faster? Like I said, I don't know. So that's one section I think could be a little bit different. And then the next section right after here is a big triple on the bikes at least. And you can go on, off, and then single out. I think possibly, if it works out to be, you can probably go triple out of this corner. I can probably see like the big bikes go triple, right? And then either quad all the way over these tabletops or land on the tabletop and single out. I think quadding and then double out would probably be the fastest way to go. Now, the 250s, I don't know if they'll have enough speed coming out of this corner, per se, to hit this. So I think they can probably just go over the tabletops, and then go like a double out, right? But also the option of just doing like a on-off. Actually, I don't know if go on-off and then, double out and then single out. Go on, and then off, and then you can go double, and then single out to the whoop section. But multiple different options there. It's going to play a factor of like who's hitting what. And it's also going to play a factor into that corner, I think. So like say Jet comes around this corner and he hits that big ass triple and goes quad over the tabletops. Obviously he's going to hit this line and be way faster. And then he's going to cut down into here and hit this whoop section, right? Now, if you hit the other line, it's going to be a little bit slower and you might have to go to the outside before the whoops. So I think that could be definitely an option to do multiple different rhythm sections here. And then you got a nice long little whoop section, which could be a factor, I think, depending on how well they get broken down. A couple of years ago, they were at Arlington. I don't know if it was last year, but maybe a couple of years ago, the whoops didn't really get broken down as much. And so hopefully that doesn't happen. Like hopefully the whoops stay up and it's a good whoop section. And then you got that dragon's back, and then you got the tunnel jump. And then this triple is massive in bikes, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be like massive in the game, or not the game, in real life. I think it's going to be just an average triple. And then you got the double into that corner. I think that's going to not necessarily play a factor. I don't think that's really going to play that big of a factor, because after you hit this triple, I don't really see. I think everybody's going to be kind of hitting the same line here, you know? I think it's going to be kind of like a one line. I could possibly see someone, if they hit the triple together and one lands on the outside, them cutting the next person off in this corner, like if they dove into this inside. But that's going to be kind of risky just based on how that angle is. But I can definitely see someone doing it per se. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoops. But so that's an option. And then you just got kind of like the regular track. You gotta go across the start, and then you got a double here, and then a long whoop section. So I think this whoop section is going to play a lot more of a factor compared to the other one because it's a little bit longer. I think the guys are going to click like fourth gear and just try to pin that through, and hopefully it's not broken down like what we saw last week, and then just have like a one line through it. I don't want to see that. I want to see a long whoop section, a long good whoop section, so people are making some passes. I want to see Mookie fly through them. I think that would be pretty sick to see, to be honest. And then you got the finish line double, and then a double out into the corner, and then you're back on the start. Excuse me. So now I think the main, like, if you want to say some passing here, I think the main passing points are going to be right after this finish line. Right after this finish line is going to be a main passing point, I think, because you're going to have the double, right? You're going to hit this double. Someone is going to go outside. Like, you already know people are going to go outside and then cut in and just like dive right into that start, right? But then you're also going to have like, say, like a Cooper Webb type who's going to hit this double and then like pivot off this inside and just pin it down the start. So I think that could play a passing point of like block passing. I think this will definitely be a block pass area where you can just like cut this guy off and then hit the start line, right? And then this is going to be funnel into like a one line, I think. And then you got the on off, right? And then you're going to have your bolt turns, which is always going to be a passing point. And then I think the next 80, I think the next 90 is going to play another passing point. So say someone takes this outside. If someone dives into this inside and just cuts them off, they're going to have the advantage there compared to this for this whoop section. So if they cut them off and go to that whoop section, that's going to play a passing point. This whoop section, I think, is going to play a massive passing point because it's short. It's probably not going to be as tall. And so if, say, they both make it out of this clean and then one just pins it all the way through this whoop section, unlike what I'm doing right here, they can dive into this inside, cut them off, and then go through this dragon back off the start. Because this right here is not going to be a passing point for that tunnel jump. I don't think that, because it's coming off no berm. It's going to come off at an angle. I think, so you're just going to be following one another off this. And then you hit the big triple. Like I said, someone could possibly hit this right here, not go through the tough blocks, but cut them off like that, right? So I see that being possible. But I kind of see this just being one line, to be honest. And then you hit the start, and then now I can see this being a passing point too. This like dive into this inside right here and just cut them off at the knees. I see that being a passing point as well right before this whoop section. So say they cut them off, roll, and then just pin it through the whoops. I see that being an option. But even if they hit the inside there, I think they're still going to be able to double it compared to unless it's like a big double, right? I don't think it's going to be necessarily that big, but I can kind of see it being a little bit bigger than what it is on this right here. But they dive into this inside, cut them off, right? And then they just pin it through this whoops. And then they're going to have the advantage for the finish line, right? Same concept with these whoops as compared to the last whoops as well. I mean, if someone goes from this outside right here, if someone takes that inside and they're hugging this outside, they're going to have an advantage because they're going to have all this speed, right? So they're going to have the advantage in this whoop section. Now, if the other person, say they come across and they go both like at the same speed off this double, and they're hitting this double at the same time, whoever's going to have the advantage in the whoops, whoever has that advantage in the whoops is going to take this corner right here, because they can just dive into this inside like that and just take that inside. So I see this track having multiple different passing points, but also a couple single file lines. Like right in here is going to be a single file, like I said. So it should be interesting to play out. Because there's a lot of 90s compared to 180s. So I see a lot of good opportunities to pass, as well as in the bolt turns. So it should be good. It should be fun. I'm excited to see what it looks like. I haven't seen it at all yet. So as you guys see this video, I haven't seen what the track looks like. I haven't seen any prep for it either. So I'll watch a little bit of press day and go from there and kind of see how it plays out. But last week when we did our preview video, we actually had a couple passing points that actually came to fruition. So that was kind of cool to see. But yeah, so I'm excited for this one. Let me know what you guys think of where passing is going to happen on this track. Let me know if you guys agree or not. If you guys agree or disagree with any of the passing points I suggest or said, not suggested, but said. Definitely want to see what they say. I'm excited. The over-under is going to play a little bit of factor, but not much. But yeah, I'm excited for multiple different options here too. I hope these guys can hit this triple. I think that would be sick to hit this triple quad. But yeah, but with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little preview of the track. Not too much going on, but I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys did, let me know. We'll try to make another one for next week as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. Hope you guys have a good week. Hope you guys enjoy the Supercross this weekend. And until next time, guys, much love. Whoops.